Well, welcome back to the channel. Back into the garage. That means I'm working on something. Unfortunately, it's not the camper. It's actually my trolling motor. Having a little issues lately with it. The directional head is not staying where it should be. It's moving, misaligning. The direction of the boat's actually going from the trolling motor, from the arrow. So we went ahead and realigned that previously once before. I attempted that again, and some of the ball bearings out of the bearing in the shaft fell out. So we're going to be replacing the ball bearings or the bearing inside the shaft and looking for any other reason why the directional arrow would be moving. So let's get this thing torn apart so we can get fishing next week. Alright, first thing we need to do is take the top cover off, and there's 3 screws underneath. So this is the insides of your trolling motor, what it looks like, at least mine. This is the directional wheel. It shows you the direction you're going into. I'm going to take you and show you the problem I'm having. Here's my bearing. It's missing, it's moving, pieces are falling out of it. Heck, piece just fell out right there. So we're going to remove everything and get it ready for when my replacement comes in the mail. We can just assemble it all up together and get it back on the water. Let's get started taking this apart. I'm going to have to take these screws off, remove this, which is the steering cable. Once that is out, we should be able to get into the shaft. Hopefully. Get a towel to lay everything down on. Don't get grease on the boat. It is most definitely going to have to come undone. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut the zip tie. We have to disconnect all these wires. I'd like to get this off somehow, but I don't think you can. Save as much wire as possible. Make sure you label all your wires. Even though they're color coded, does not hurt. Feed my wires through here. Looks like we have an Allen wrench lock that we have to remove to get this bearing out. So I went ahead and loosened up the screw that was in there. That's going to drop the collar. Oh, ha ha ha. That goes there. How does this thing come out? Alright, after the research, I need to unscrew this without causing any damage. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. Alright, it's day 2 of this trolling motor repair. Can't believe it's been 2 days. What I didn't expect is to have such a hard time taking off the top gear. And let me show you. Alright, right here in the shaft, you have a gear that's mounted to this coupler or whatever you want to call it. It is screwed down in, and they used Loctite back in 1999, and that SOB took me hours to finally break loose. I actually had to crush it down as hard as I possibly could into a vise, and I took all my weight and another person's weight to twist and finally to break it loose. So now we have it back on. We're going to get our wires re-zip tied and get it all back installed. So let's get doing it. Alright, next we're going to grease up the shaft area. Give the bearings a little bit more grease. Alright, went ahead and put some zip ties on. Next we're going to bring up the collar, or the head, the unit in the collar. Pulls up. We're going to put back in the locking screws. Now we'll get everything back in there. I'm going to go ahead and start feeding the wires through. Got the connectors on. Alright, now we're going to zip tie all the wires together. Keeping our light out because I don't know where that needs to go, but we definitely need to bunch all these back up. Alright, we gotta figure out what this light goes again. Oh, it goes right here. Actually, I think it goes out this way. It goes this way. Yes. Well, this will tuck in. All right. Cables in there good. Now what we're going to do is just throw a little extra grease in here. In the gearings. Got a tiny bit of grease left. So we're going to grease up everything that moves. I'm going to give you guys a good look at what we did here. Cable comes through. You have to have this rubber grommet in its spot, and it looks like it's there. I hope it's there. Looks like everything looks good there. Wires are tied up together, re-hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on now before we go ahead and look at anything else. But this is where your cable comes through. You have these 6 screws. Take off. You have your actual gearing that connects to the foot pedal, which connects to the rod. And then the last piece, which is the cover we'll put on once we verify. I'll show you the gear. That lines up with this, and we're all good. So I need to hit the power back on and see if we have powered everything. So with my boat, I actually have the trolling motor tied directly to the batteries. It doesn't go anywhere else. So there is no kill switch to it. I should probably install one for that. But we're going to go hit the power now, and if you see the blades spinning, we have power. We got power. Now we got to make sure our cover's on. Now with this cover, you have your directional arrow, and that was the problem. It should have been pointing that way, going that way, and it was pointing the wrong direction, kept on skipping. There's a gear under here that we're going to first get in line, then we're going to go ahead and assemble it. So the motor will be going this way. Get the wires out of my way. I can get it down on the sprocket. Bunch my wires back up. Okay. Going to correct direction. All right. Everything's on. Go ahead and screw it in. Screws are on the bottom. Getting all the screws going. We'll tighten it up in a minute. Everything's snugged up, don't over tight because it is plastic. Just give it a little snug. Now we're going to mount the trolling motor back down. That's how you change your bearing on your trolling motor, the shaft bearing. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Really help me out. We got power.